Trekkers. Welcome to this amazing Star Trek podcast on Trek Tuesday. I'm your host Dorinda, and together with my lovely co-host Amanda Hopper, we'll recap every 2 weeks an episode of Star Trek TNG. All the episodes will be recapping chronically following. We'll also approach each episode with humor and phenomenal look. Today we are recapping the episode The Neutral Zone. Well, guys, let's phone Amanda again. Hello, Amanda.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. It's not as hot as it was the other days, but it's still warm out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think one day we had over 40, I think it said.
Yeah, here too. It was pretty hot here.
Yeah.
So, today it is the last episode, guys, from season 1.
Holy moly.
We are at the finale of season 1. Guys, this is really, really great. So, bear in mind, guys, in about 2 weeks, at the same hour when we are recording this one, so it will be on the 16th of August, we are going to have a live streaming of the episode we are recapping.
Yeah, the child.
And we also going to make that a video recording also. Check out on Spotify, because Spotify you can also do videos episode now, so or watch it on YouTube. And yeah, then you can for the first time you can see us, how we look like and what our face mimics are, etc, etc. So today is the neutral zone, and the first comment I like to make is this was almost exactly of the last episode of Strange New World in season 1. I don't know if you already have seen it, Amanda.
No, I haven't seen the show.
I have. So
It's hard to watch when your dad likes to take over the TV in the living room.
So yeah, it's really almost the same, and in one way it was funny because it's almost the same storyline. But let's start at the beginning. So the Enterprise is somewhere because Captain Picard needed to be in an emergency meeting, and meanwhile they are there. They found this some kind of beacon, old Earth beacon.
Satellite.
Yeah, something like that.
It kind of looked like a satellite. Yeah.
And Data wants to investigate because, of course, we know Data is very, very curious. And what we also see, and I don't know if you noticed that, Amanda, and you guys too, Data is becoming more and more human. His reaction is more and more human.
I noticed he had when he found out he can go over, he's like, had a little grin on his face. Yeah, I noticed he had that little sly grin. He's like, yay, I get to go over and investigate, see what's over there.
So Worf
he takes Worf with him.
He takes Worf with him, and they are at a door, and Worf thought, okay, it will open by itself, like they know, but it wasn't. And you could see how excited Data was. Worf, you need to, it's a handmade because you need to open it with your hands and not with a tricorder, whatever.
Yeah. And you can tell Data seems so happy with himself that he kind of knew better than Worf did, like kind of outsmart him attitude. I don't know if you call it that, but he's like more smart than Worf. I'm trying to say, Like he knew about the handle,
I
but
don't
he
think it's
kind of
I don't think it
well he kind
is
of
smart
yeah.
handed or whatever, but it is more like um, because this was old and very new, even for Worf, it was for him so excited that
Hmm.
yeah, that they find this. So they make a scan and they open the door and they find those old medical stasis pods, and they
Yeah.
find four, no, three humans in that are frozen.
Yep. Two guys and a girl frozen in stasis.
That was very. It also reminded me of that episode of Voyager when they find Amelia Earhart, and that the car that was floating in space was originally a beacon.
I vaguely remember that episode. I remember the episode of Voyager. I can't remember if it was Voyager or not, but it was like an old style truck floating around. I think that was the episode.
Yeah, that was that episode, and they find this planet where they can live on, and Janeway give the crew the opportunity to settle down on that planet because they are so far away still from home.
Hmm.
And when they meet up in the cargo bay, she sees that no one will get to that offer. They are so they they have confidence that Janeway will take them home. But okay, then Picard tells Riker that they are in the neutral zone, and Data and Worf need to come back to the bridge because this is yeah, very important.
Hmm.
And but Data was saying, "Sir, I can't leave them alone. I can't leave them here. This is not an appropriate decision. So can I bring them on board?" So Riker gives him permission, and Worf and Data is bringing them on board, and so they are in the neutral zone now, and they are going to investigate all the outposts of the Federation.
Hmm.
And we see, and by the way, there was also a star base that was destroyed. All of them are destroyed, and
Hmm.
immediately Worf thinks it's the Romulans because he know the Romulans. The Romulans also have
Oh yeah.
killed them, his parents.
Yeah, on Kittimer, if I remember the name of it was correctly, was Kittimer that the Romulans killed his parents during a battle.
Yeah, so but it is just only speculation, and they having a staff meeting like Picard and Troy and
Ada.
Data, Riker and LaForge, and then Picard went to the sick bay, and that's the first time Picard hears that Data had found those three people.
Hmm.
Crusher says, I don't know what to do with them, but I defrost them. What was really funny, but so she tells Picard what happened, and she explained why those people have been frosted, that they have illnesses that they can heal easily now.
Hmm. So I think the woman, she had like an aneurysm in her brain, I think it was. The other one had a heart condition, and the other one, I think it was emphysema and bad liver or something like that.
Yeah, that is just the life of a musician, right? Just with the drugs and
Yeah.
alcohol, and you know else what. But what was
Yeah.
funny is the language what the musician was using. That was really old country, you know.
Hmm. Ding 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 ding. Old-fashioned country type music.
So Picard called Data to the sick bay because Data has something to explain, and Picard told him, well, normally I am encouraging my staff to be curious and to find out.
Hmm.
But yeah, this isn't the right time.
No, it's definitely not the right time to be curious about something when they're dealing with the neutral zone and Romulans. Like, it's a dangerous situation.
Well, not only that, but it is just
Hmm.
yeah, you never know what's happened now because all those. Believe it was 9 outposts and 1 starbase that is completely
Yeah.
were destroyed.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And well, they're still in the sick bay. And Crusher said, "Well, okay, I can wake them up. But there is no reason to sedate them." So they first wake up the lady, and as soon as the lady saw Worf, she fainted again. What was funny?
Oh yeah, because that'd be a shock to the system after waking up after a couple hundred years, and you see this big tall dude. You're like, what the? And you're like, ugh. Get a little
Oh,
faint there.
did you see, by the way, already the new promo video and pictures of Picard season 3 with all the old TNG characters? I think they
Yeah.
I think they made Worf age very good. He very
So
looks good.
another silver fox of the group. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I think they really look good. All of them, what they
I
made. It's
know.
very.
But what character is Brent playing? That's what I want to know.
I
Oh,
think. Or he's gonna play that soon character that wants to. Well, like I said, Soji's father. She's not called Soji, but I can't remember her name now. But or
oh yeah.
him.
What is her name? Forget it.
Wasn't this Adam?
Adam wasn't Soji's father. It
No,
was
I know, but I mean,
Alton.
I I don't mean
Alton.
him. I mean, he was he played I can't remember her character's name now, but she found out again that she was a some kind of a prototype.
Oh,
Uh, what's his name? I thought it was
Core.
Adam.
Core. Core was the daughter to Adam.
Yeah, I mean Adam, or he's going to play that scientist that is who was on the planet with Soji. Eric
Oh,
was
that
it,
would be
right?
Alton.
Okay.
Alton Noonan.
But
Alton Inagio, I think it was. Something like that. Alton something.
what I'm
And then
also
there's Noonan.
what I also are interested in and very curious at is the last scene of Picard. There was that Wesley Crusher as a traveler came back.
I know. I wonder if
So
he'll be in any episodes.
so what is going to happen with her, and are we going to see more time traveling with Wesley Crusher?
That's what I'm wondering. Is Wesley going to be in it? Because that'd be really cool.
Well, I remember with one of the interviews with one of the owners of the owners, I mean producers of um, the last episode, they were actually fighting on where Wesley Crusher will appear in what series.
Oh,
So, yeah, I'm very curious if they are, and if they are, if he is going to see Picard again, and of course his mom. I really like in one way, I like to see them having some kind of a little reunion.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But there was also um, another message that there will be some tensions between Picard and Beverly. So my first thought was, are they coming to back together again?
Hmm, that's a good question. Will they meet up and resolve issues or something? I don't
Who knows? But
know.
those two ending finale episodes from the TNG, that was just a future flashback episode. So he is not originally married to Beverly.
Huh.
So who knows? Who knows?
Oh, we'll find out eventually.
Yeah.
When when's it airing? This year or next year? I forget when they
Next
said.
year. Next year.
Oh, I gotta wait till next year.
Picard went to the bridge and he told Riker, you have to take care and lead those new people and keep them out of my way. Because Picard wasn't fond of them.
No.
And then we see them in like a guest quarters, and Riker and Data are trying to explain uh, where they are, in what time they are, etc., etc. So they're also coming at the point that they are going to explain what Data is and Worf is. And although the people are very excited, they are also a little bit scared because, well, it's 300 years for them that they have been awake for the last time. So, yeah, it is really a shock.
Well, yeah, you've been frozen for 300 years. Wake up 300 years in the future there, and you're presented with the Klingon that freaks you the heck out and you faint. And then you scratch your head wondering, who's this golden guy?
I must
Which is an
say,
android.
Data is becoming more and more human-like. His reactions and interactions, and you see that later on when, at the end of the episode, that musician says, "Well, yeah, old boy, you could be a good side companion. What you say? We're going to hunt for women, drugs, and alcohol." And Data was answering like, "Oh, that would be interesting." And then he looked at Picard, and Picard's face said everything. Like, "Data, if you do that, I'm going to disassemble you."
And Data's like, okay. Just Data could tell from his look that don't do that. That he shouldn't do it. And Data also, yeah, and Data also said to Riker, he's like, "What is a sub pit woofer?" or something to that effect. It was.
Yeah, well, we are still at the scene that they are explaining everything, and Offenhouse, who is a very important man in finances, he said, "Well, I want to make a phone call to my lawyer, and I need to see where my profits are, and money, and this and that." And then they are going to try try out the replicator, and the musician said, "Well, I want a nice potatoes and
Steak.
steak and what the hell more." And then he said, "Well, cancel that. Just give me a good martini with 2 olives in it." So the replicator made the martini without olives, and although it is synthetic and people from the 24th century can't be drunk with it, for him it was very strong. what was really
Mm.
funny to see, but okay. And then he asked for a TV and like a porn channel, and well, Riker didn't know what it was, and even Data was had no clue.com. And so the musician said, "Well, you must be having a very boring life." Picard was hailing Riker and Data back to the bridge because they are on the in the neutral zone, and so those three people really wanted to know what was going to happen to them, because yeah, I can imagine after so many time, and we only see that a little bit later in the episode, what quite an effect it has of the three of them.
Mm.
We see the woman crying and taking it all in, and later she wanted to know what happened to her boys and her husband, and then she found a eight
Relative.
times grandson who was a spitting image of her husband.
Mm. And
And
also had the almost same name as one of her sons, Tommy, I think it was.
yeah,
And I think his name was Thomas.
and the funny part was, well, the part was also that the woman who was looking after that, and she Troy helped her to cope with those feelings, and help her to find a family that still was alive. Um, you could see it was very double, because in one way she wanted to meet her family, but she would be
Mm.
like a relic. She was like 8 or 9 times in generation. And but on the other hand, because of that, she says, I don't want to disturb the timeline, so it's better for me to stay here or whatever else more. So we are back on the bridge now, and Troy is giving Picard a profile of the Romulans, what they know, but it the information they got is not up to date, because it was 50 years that they have encountered for the last time Romulans. And
Mm.
so Picard also told Troy, well, thank you very much, everything is helping. You need to go to the Orgas now because they need your guidance and counsel. So Riker told Picard, well, Captain, the lack of information can also be a good fortune for us, because they also have lack of information about us. So they want a confrontation. So what we need to do is have the ship in high alert and just investigate what happened. So Picard said, well, I appreciate what you're saying, but we're going first to yellow alert first, because we don't know what happened.
Yeah, because red alert is normally reserved for like super, super, super serious things like massive attacks. Yellow is just to warn you. So right now, at that point, they decide yellow instead because they're not sure what's going to happen when they meet up with the Romulans, if they're going to fire or not. So they
Yeah, and
just go to yellow for now.
well, when Picard and Riker talked about the tactics, and even Worf told Picard, well, we have to go red alert. They are killers, and they are in one outing, they are very aggressive, and in another moment they are very gentle. And we also could see that with, for example, with Sheila. Sheila was a
Mm.
child of a Roman subcommander, and of course Tasha Yar. And
Oh.
uh, Tasha Yar always said, um, yes, I was some kind of a prisoner of that Romulan commander, but he treated me well, and we have a child together, etc., etc. And well, in the middle of that conversation, it was Offenhouse, that financial man, was calling for Picard. And guys, I don't know what your opinion is about Offenhouse, but I hated the guy.
Oh,
Oh, he was
he was a
so,
jerk.
yeah,
He
and
was a
so
jerk. He
irritated.
was stuck up, opinionated. He's the type of guy. He's like the type of guy you want to throw out of an airlock. Another member of the airlock community, as I
Yeah,
call
and
it.
also he was the one who always was the boss over everyone, and now he had to be guided, and there was someone else who was the boss over him. So when
Mm.
Picard went to him, and he was so freaking annoying. Oh,
I
really?
know.
I could hit him, really.
Yeah. I don't got a good punch, but I could kick him with a steel toe boot.
Well, Picard and he had a conversation, and Picard said, well, it isn't about money anymore, or property, or whatever. And Offenhouse answered, well, it's not about property or money, it's about power. And I want power.
Of course he
And
does.
Picard was trying to explain, well, you are in the 24th century now. Uh, that's some kind of power that is not anymore on Earth. So you need to bust out. So then we are in the sick bay because that musician wanted some drugs and alcohol for sleep and get up. And he was very free in talking to Beverly.
Mm.
And he had the words with, well, you're the prettiest doctor I ever seen, and well, give me some of the drugs because it helps me sleep. And he said, well, you don't have that anymore because you are fully healed, so you don't have that anymore. And
Yeah. And I think he proceeded to slap her in the butt or something like that.
yeah, he had really strange faces in uh, communication, but
Mm.
it was very country like.
And I think after he did that and he left, she's like, much obliged.
Yeah, and then Data was saying something about Romulans in the musician, and the musician didn't um, trust it, so he told the others. And the damn oven house again was leaving the cabin and was looking for Picard.
Mm.
So he ended up on the bridge. And the Enterprise was still investigating, and nobody was uh, seeing Ovenhouse when he came on the bridge. Normally, yeah, you could noticing that the turbolift wheel is there and the turbolift doors are open. So it was
Yeah,
very,
because the door. Yeah, because the door makes some noises when it's opened.
yeah, yeah.
So you
So
think, somebody would have heard right away.
yeah, but that was not. Or they were too concentrated on their business with the
Yeah.
Romulans. So they will all investigate all those outposts, and there really was evidence that it was the Romulans. And you could feel that the sphere was very tense, and then they noticed a fluctuation in energy, and so Riker said, well, that can be their cloaking device, and big Romulan warbird is appearing. And I think they were a little shocked by the largeness of the ship.
That sucker was huge.
Yeah, it was. And
And
if you
I think
see
they call it the bird of prey. because when you look at it without the bottom piece and you look at it, it actually looks like a bird of prey coming after you in the sky because it's got practically the shape of wings and the front kind of looks like a beak.
You know what I was thinking too at that picture? Um, you have the Romulan bird of prey, but you also have the Klingon bird of prey, and they are very similar. I was thinking, what were the thoughts of the designers to make those two so similar?
I never really thought about that.
And the bird of prey was much larger than the Enterprise.
Yeah.
So Captain Picard was hailing the Romulan ship, and they meet Commander Tabuk. And right away, I noticed that the skin of the Romulans were very different than we know them in later series and episodes. The skin of the Romulans were very greenish and grayish.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, is it just me? Is the skin like? Is it me or my eyes being really screwy with me right now? Or is their skin kind of grayish? Like I was confused by that.
So
Like I thought I was seeing something.
no. I think isn't this the first time we see Romulans?
I think so. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's the first time we've seen Romulans.
so this is also the part that I think. But the weird thing is when they make the Romulans in TOS, it was different because in TOS they had more color on, and if you're looking
Yeah.
at TNG, it's more greenish grayish the clothes.
Yeah.
And what was also what I can, and this is spoiler alert, sorry guys, but if you see the Romulans in Strange New World, they are going back to TOS. But okay, what one thing also was, and I was asking myself, before the Romulans were appearing, Picard said that security had to get Offenhouse from the bridge. And then the Romulans appear, and Offenhouse stayed on the bridge. Why wasn't he taken off the bridge?
Was it a moment of distraction by Picard? Moment of distraction because the Romulans showed up and Picard had to do his thing, so Picard was a bit more distracted with the Romulans, and the security guards looked like they were in shock when they saw them. I'm thinking.
Perhaps, yeah,
And
perhaps.
yeah.
So, Tabuk said, well, yes, we destroyed the outpost and we're going to expand our territorium. So let the Federation know that we, the Romulans, are back. And yeah, I think Picard said something in the line of, "Oops, I think we made our lives a little bit stressful now because of the situation." We're back with the people, and Picard was talking with the two men, and finally Offenhouse get it into his head that he can't have power anymore because it's the 21st century now. They live differently. So, and they will be rendezvous with, what was the ship's name? I can't remember. But
Forget the name too.
that ship would bring them back to Earth. And the end scene of all is that Riker was saying, "Oh, it would be fun if they could stay because it would be a blast from the past, and we could learn so much things from the past, how it was in the 19th and 20th century." But Picard said, "No, Riker. We are a science vessel that is exploring, so we need to move forward. We are boldly go where no one has gone before." And I think that made me thinking, yeah, thank you, Picard. Yes, it would be nice if they could learn something from the past and how it's done, but I think Picard was right in this one. Well, guys, this was the end of the episode that we have been recapping, and this is also the closure from the first season of TNG season 1.
And in a few weeks, it will be season 2, episode 1.
And like I said before, we will make a live streaming and a video recording of this. So stay tuned. Stay alert on the Facebook group. And you can see when it is. I have sent you all an invitation, so you only have to accept that. Well, Amanda, this was the end. Do you want to add something?
I do have to do my question first, though, don't I?
Yeah, it was your turn today.
Yeah. Okay. If you knew you were sick and you were gonna die, and of course, would you want to be cryogenically frozen and defrosted in the future to be healed? If you knew you were gonna be sick and die, would you want to be cryo frozen? I'll just say cryo frozen, and technically be awoken. Even if it's a couple hundred years, would you want to be done that way?
Good question. So there's something else we need to do, and that is rating this episode.
Yeah.
But my rating for this episode is an 8.
Yeah, I say around that. It was a good episode. I say around an 8 also.
And surely because we have seen later episodes in other series that have the same team, and they were a little bit better than this one. But okay. Well, guys, thank you for listening. And we would like you to join us in 2 weeks for that live stream and video recording.
Yeah.
And, I'm very excited about that because that's the first time we do this.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I would say live long and prosper, guys.
Yeah, live long and prosper, guys.
Dear listeners, thank you for listening and join us in 2 weeks for a new episode recap. In the next episode, we will recap the episode The Child. Girls Talking Track is also to listen, follow and subscribe on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, or on the other podcast providers. We also have a Facebook group and a YouTube channel. If you'd like to comment on the episode or talk with us about the episode we just recapped, you can reach out on the Facebook group and the YouTube channel of Girls Talking Track. I also like to tell you about my other podcast, Orenda Talks. In this podcast, I talk about books, movies, fandoms, and other geek things. On this podcast, I also have an extra episode series in which I will talk about everything Star Trek. You can find Orenda Talks on the YouTube channel or the Facebook group. We will see you in 2 weeks. Live long and prosper.